All right, hello, metal maniacs. It's the Meista from Brews and Tunes. Cheers. I am absolutely thrilled. I'm so stoked. I am interviewing two amazing musicians. Of course, I'm talking about Madeleine and Rikard of the mighty Elaine. How are you guys doing?
Hey,
Doing all
doing
right,
good.
thank
Thank you very
you.
much.
Awesome,
And thanks
awesome.
for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show. Yeah, like I said, I'm super excited to chat with you. So I guess first and foremost, the most important thing right now is it was just announced, recently announced, brand new EP, um, We Stand United, coming out in I think exactly 2 weeks from the day of this interview. I might have that
It
wrong,
is
but
actually.
yeah, I think
No, you're
yeah.
absolutely
So.
correct.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was lucky enough to get an advance copy from one of your promoters, and I have to tell you, it's fucking fantastic. I love it. It's incredible. It's yeah,
Thank you so much.
Oh,
and it's one of those like with all of your music, I think all of your albums, and particularly with EPs, you just it leaves you wanting more, because it just hits all the right spots. But then it's like, oh, it's over. Got to listen to it
Yeah.
again. But what I love
Thank
is
you.
it's got two new songs, two brand new songs. So an intro song, and then We Stand United, and then three wonderfully recorded live tracks from this past year festival. And I forget which festival it is.
Yeah, Masters of Rock from
Yes,
2024. Yeah,
yes, Masters of
exactly.
Rock, and three songs from your last album, We Shall Remain. Three of my favorite songs from that album.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and just I mean, like I said, it just hits hard, it hits heavy, it's just perfect. Um, so I guess
Oh,
is
thank
this a
you.
precursor to a new album?
this EP is an in-between albums kind of thing. Yes,
Okay.
and we wanted to give something to our fans when we're heading towards a new album. We're currently creating new music, and you can expect something next year.
Oh,
So
great.
this is a bridge between albums. Yeah, 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 for
Nice.
sure.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. Um, now I know there you guys have been doing a lot of big shows this summer. The festivals.
Mm.
What do you have on the horizon in terms of live shows?
Well,
Go
right
ahead.
now we're preparing for our European tour, a
Oh,
special
great.
guest to Primal Fear. So
Nice.
that will most likely be like the only tour we do with We Stand United, the
Okay.
EP. And then already, obviously, we're working for next year already. Quite a lot going on, actually, quite a lot brewing. But yeah, so there will be quite a lot of news later this year as well, actually,
Nice.
already.
Very
So
nice.
yeah, it will be. It's been a busy year, but we'll most likely be even busier next year.
Excellent. That's
For
good
sure,
news,
for sure.
especially for us fans. It's great news to hear. Like, yeah, it's always it's always heartening and to hear that your favorite bands are doing well and touring and hitting it hard and new work in progress. With the new album, is it in a similar vein to We Shall Remain, or are you kind of going in a different direction at all, or what are your maybe it's too early, I don't know.
I mean, it will have things that will contain it will contain things that are stuff that people love about the sound of Elaine, and that is what we create. And we always try to create what feels right to us. And if that means evolving the sound hugely or minor things, I mean, that just we'll have to wait and see, right? So
Right.
it's gonna be really, really great. It's gonna be a lot of chugs. It's gonna be a lot of stuff going on and great lyrics and everything in between.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, that's one thing I've always been attracted to your music is I mean, it's complex. It's and it drives me a little bit a little crazy the genre game, because you guys get put in this
Uh,
category of symphonic metal, but there's so much more to your music than that. I
Oh,
think, and
thank you, man.
it's a
thank
bit
you
of
for
a
saying that.
misnomer, I think, to put you in that category to some degree. I mean, there are some elements for sure. But
Of course.
I mean, there's, thrash metal in there. There's all sorts of stuff. And you don't sound like, I guess, the traditional symphonic metal band. It's not operatic.
Mm.
It's a lot of traditional metal elements, like I said, and some thrash metal stuff. I mean, there's some like really nice, just chugging, like aggressive guitar.
We love
And
that.
yeah, and I love the interplay between your vocals too. The growls versus Madeline, you're just these emotive, beautiful passages and just this huge vocal presence. I think it's incredible. I think it's you're one of those bands like when I first put it on, like the very first time I heard you several years back, when I dropped the needle, it's one of those things I had to sit down. Like I got to sit down and listen to this. It's not like you don't play Elaine in the background. Like you need to
Oh,
sit and listen to it. Like seriously, it's not background
so
music.
much praise.
You sit down and listen to it. You sit down, you shut the fuck up and you listen to it.
Oh, dude, that's a huge compliment. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll put that
Seriously,
quote on the
yeah.
first page on our website. You
Yeah.
just sit down, shut the fuck up, and you listen. I like
Yeah. Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I mean, I was at work yesterday with my, listening to your music, and yeah, I realized I'm not working. I'm just staring and just listening to the music. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna get in trouble because I'm not doing my job. So
That's so beautiful to hear.
Hey,
But I
Victor,
truly
that is,
thank you.
yeah. Yeah, I
thank
think
you very much,
it's
Victor.
incredible.
And it's fun that you say because it's been on many people's tongues just the past month. We're talking about genres and subgenres and whatnot, and we often get the question like, "Hey, what kind of music are you then? What kind of music are you guys?" And we're embracing this. At least I am embracing this as well. You tell me what you think later on, Madeline. Was just saying that we play metal,
Yeah.
since we have so many different influences here and there. And as you say, there's a lot of thrash, there's some black metal, melodic death, there are orchestral arrangements, which in essence would be like symphonic metal,
Yeah.
right? But it's cinematic and it's everything there in between. So metal. If you like it,
Yeah.
you like it. If you don't, well, don't listen to it, dude.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, and it's a shame knowing that I think a bunch of people are kind of missing out a little bit just because they look and they're like, okay, so there's some funk metal and just skip it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I appreciate what you are saying about it too, because obviously that's how we feel as well, that no, we're not traditional symphonic metal. I really do not see Elaine as it, actually. I really don't, because we have talked about this in a couple of interviews as well, that first of all, we really never have listened to symphonic metal. Our like symphonic arrangements, that kind of inspiration is more from, movie scores and game music and these
Mm.
kinds of things. And that is our inspiration, not to listen to Nightwish since we were like 10.
Right.
And anime.
So that's, I'm sorry,
And anime.
and anime,
Anime.
exactly. And so that is like where we come from, and we have more like Rikard is more old school metal. I'm more like, death metal, and then we combine it. And I think the most important thing in our music is that we are more riff based.
Yeah.
Many symphonic metal bands are more based on the actual symphonic arrangements. But we said very early on, if the symphonic arrangements doesn't work live, we still want the song to be the song it is. And there's many of our songs we barely have any symphonic arrangements at all,
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. Because if the
right?
backing tracks crap out, you need to be able to perform your music still.
Yeah, obviously. To us, that's obvious, right? So no, I don't know. I like Arch Enemy. Even they have symphonic elements every now and then in their
Right. Yeah.
songs. So I don't know. Where's just because I'm not growling, then are we automatically symphonic metal just because that? No, of course not. So it is interesting to actually discuss, because I have noticed a lot of people are like, but what are you? So we say metal.
Yeah,
It's
I
easier.
agree. Yeah, my wife always says that. She's like, I don't play the genre game. She's like,
No,
I
no,
don't,
no, and I
yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the
if
same.
it's 100% a subgenre you're doing, it's good to have some kind of guideline towards it. But for us, it's good to
Of
say
course.
just metal, right? If it's grindcore and you're expecting something that is like metal and you hear grindcore, you're like, oh my God, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
some indicator could be good, but in our case, metal.
yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's good. Yeah, that's and then, being an old guy. I mean, yeah, when I was a kid, it was just there was metal. Like there were no subgenres. I mean, I guess the thrash was kind of the first time, and that thrash like hit the scene when I was a teenager, when I was in high school, and I
Yeah.
remember that was the first time I had kind of heard somebody like use a different term, like, oh, it's thrash metal. I'm like, okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would say that wouldn't that be like the first ones? So it was heavy metal, with the high screams and everything,
Yeah,
and then thrash came along, without the high screams and more chugs,
yeah,
basically. So they had to differentiate themselves, and you see that differentiate game going on and growing and growing and growing. So now you got like hundreds of different subgenres. It's
yeah.
kind of confusing sometimes.
Yeah, and it gets
Mm.
a little ridiculous where it's like, oh, it's Viking, it's Black Viking symphonic death grind. Like, what the fuck does
Yeah.
that mean?
Feels like
Yeah.
a
Then
fancy
just
name.
put like just put metal, and then you maybe mention the influences. What are you influenced by, instead of
Yeah,
putting everything into an actual subgenre title. It
I
gets
like that.
it. All long titles are a little bit ridiculous,
Yeah,
Mm.
no
yeah,
matter what you do, I think. Yeah.
right.
I think
Yeah,
I think something has to come into play also, that you want to present what you're able to do, and you do that by saying what kind of sub genre you are.
yeah, yeah. I guess, that makes sense. And it especially trying to explain trying to explain a certain band to especially a non-metal fan. And it's like, well, they
Mm,
combine these elements, and it can help, I guess, it's descriptive. It can help with, in those kind of
yeah.
terms, but it sometimes it just gets absurd, you know.
Just listen to
Yeah,
it.
truly.
Just
Yeah,
listen
just
to it
listen to
and
it.
see what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, just check it out. Um, let's switch gears a little bit. I wanted to ask about kind of the beginnings of the band. How did Elaine start? How did you guys connect? Where did this all start out with?
I'll leave
You
the
want to go?
floor to you, Rikard.
Oh,
You look so ready, so I was like, I'm just gonna.
No, I'm just sitting here waiting. You go
Yeah,
ahead
all
this time.
right.
Yeah.
No, Rick and I, we met, and we pretty early on we noticed that we had the same goal, which basically was that we want to make music in life. Like, we really have felt that no matter what job we've had, like, we really don't belong. Like, no, this is just temporary.
mm,
So we really noticed very early on that, all right, we do want to have a metal band, both of us. All right, how can we make this possible? And it didn't take that long. I cannot recall how long it was, but pretty early we're like, you know what? Let's skip our daily jobs. Let's see how we can make this actually work. We have been very hungry throughout our days, I can tell you that. But definitely it has been worth it.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
definitely, definitely. So in the beginning there, I saw an opportunity, and so did Madeline. And how we actually started making it financially, so because having a band and having it professionally takes a lot of time, and
mm,
time is the most valuable thing we have. And how do you invest in that? You
right.
invest in
Mm.
that by working hard, my friend.
Yeah.
And we saw an opportunity to build this network to be able to live by playing music on the weekends and every other day during the week with a cover duo, both Madeline and I,
Oh, okay.
to fund our passion in life. So I told Madeline, all right, you quit your job and I will work nights as a guard. And I did for a short while, then I could just quit that job, and we played music for a living by playing covers, right? And we started to build Elaine, and it came to the point where this was the cover band, and this was Elaine, and then and Elaine
Nice.
took over, and that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, that was pretty insane when looking back. I mean, we worked with Elaine Monday to Friday, Friday evening, and Saturday we worked with the cover duo.
Mm.
And we can just add that was everything from, I don't know, pubs to weddings, and a wedding could truly mean all day.
Yeah.
All day we provided music. We were like home 4 in the morning, and then Sundays was always rehearsal. So it
Mm.
was really Sunday to Friday was Lane, and then was like the cover duo, and then back at it again. So it was no days off for years, just constant work, try to like evolve, write music, photo shoots, and just build it up the way we did. So when looking back, it was quite insane. And then I remember when COVID hit, everything really just shut down. Everything just disappeared. But we really decided like we had plans already to release Dancing in Hell in 2020.
Mm.
And when everyone else was like, no, we're going to put it on hold, we were like, well, we will not. Because here in Sweden, at least, we were actually allowed to go to the rehearsal, for an example, as long as we actually were careful and everything. We could actually move outside. We didn't have that we couldn't go outside. So we were very grateful for that opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
So instead, we just went for, we're going to drop so many more singles and music videos. And that was truly an important thing that we did. COVID really hit us back in one way because we were planning on a first headliner tour. That went to shit. But we did release Dancing in Hell, and it got a lot of attention. It was really a breakthrough that was needed and something that we really wanted and have worked very hard for. And that really just pushed us in the right direction. So the cover duo thing really, that naturally faded because we were not allowed to play. So then we put way more effort into Elaine. We built up the Patreon page, and there you go. All of a sudden, the cover duo thing, we don't even have time for it. So, and yeah, the Twitch streams that we started with in 21 was also insanely important. So it was a curse and a blessing with COVID for us, at least. It really was.
Right. Yeah.
It was a transition that happened that I think we actually needed as well, because it was. Oh wow, we were tired.
Oh yeah, definitely. I completely agree. It's hard to let go, especially because when you work so hard, you work so much, and you give so much of yourself to something that it can become some kind of a trauma bond you got going on, and that's very very hard to leave, even though your body's telling you like you can't do this anymore. You still need the income and everything there in between.
Yeah.
So to take that step and leave that place of both comfort and terror is really, really difficult. So we had no choice. And we just, okay, are we gonna completely give up, or are we gonna dive into or lean more into Elaine and do everything we can to make that grow even more? So that's also when the Twitch streams started. I started in 2021, and Madeleine, you followed suit quite shortly thereafter.
Yeah,
so
like 2 months.
Yeah, also 21, right?
Yeah.
I have my Twitch stream, and Madeleine has her Twitch stream. They are vastly different in what we do, but we come together in a very, very, very special way. It's the Legion, the fans of Elaine, everyone that makes it all possible. We unite through that, and that is just beautiful. Without our fans, nothing would be possible. We wouldn't even exist as a band, and bands need to know that, because some bands seem to forget that shit.
Right.
That was leaning into like, you fucker, you gotta love your bands. But that is actually a truth. There's a truth in that. You need to be grateful towards your fans, but also know that you are the one that people are looking towards. Do not seek out what you think you should be doing. Do what you feel is right for the music, and the fans will follow.
Nice. Good. Great advice there, for sure. I love the fact that I think as fans, sometimes we don't realize, or we forget the hard work that it takes to be a band, especially in this environment, in this climate now. I mean, it's very different from what it was in the 80s. I mean, there's so many bands now. It's very competitive, I'm sure. And I love the fact that, I mean, the kind of passion that you have, and which comes across in your music for sure. But I love the, that work ethic, that hard work ethic. So I mean, the business side of it, and then the artistic side of it, and you guys have really married that together, I think, really well. And I think that comes across too. You mentioned before we started this interview, Rikard, you mentioned the fact that you guys actually do the production of your videos, right?
Oh yeah, much more than that as well. Yes, correct. We both Matt and I, we direct, produce, and up until a point like 2 or 3 years ago, we filmed everything ourselves as well, and we edited as well.
Wow.
You still film some, but it's nice to have someone else that maybe can make some of the shots at least. But it is insane when you're on the location actually filming how intense it is. It really is. But at the same time, your vision comes to life. It
Yeah.
is pretty
Yeah,
cool
for
Oh,
sure.
because
I
I
mean,
mean,
just shoot.
yeah, no, just that everything that we do, if it's artworks for the albums, if it is music videos, everything has a meaning behind it. Like everything is an extensions, like of the songs. The
mm,
artworks, there's quite a lot of details in all of them. Like except the debut album, there's so many details in it that really is like summarizing what you can hear on the album. Even if, of course, people are like, yeah, it looks cool, let's take it.
yeah.
But there's so many details that we're actually trying to put out there. And same with the videos. I mean, up until now, we've been choosing to deliver more of, how can we say, more classic music videos, I guess, more old school. Like
Mhm.
it's us
And
playing
yeah,
because that is what we love to do. We love to perform. That is where the magic actually happens with the crowd. Like that's
Yeah.
what we live for. That's why we do all of this background work to get the reward, right? So we know that us performing, that is usually what people want to see. And if we in the future add a storyline here and there, sure. But this is what we've been doing so far because we want people to look at it and be like, yeah, fuck yeah,
yeah,
that feeling. Ooh, that is
just
so
like
important.
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. And just like 2 weeks ago, I finished up our upcoming music video.
Oh, great. Nice. When will that be released?
It will
Melon,
be
am I
released.
allowed to say?
Yeah.
No?
I mean, it will come out there anyway. The actual EP will be released on September 5th. A
Right.
few days after, it will come out a music video.
Oh, great. Okay.
So,
So it coincide.
yes. So
Nice.
it is for We Stand United, the title track.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. I'm excited to see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the, and unfortunately, I've never had the chance to see you live apart from, watching YouTube videos, which,
Yeah.
and I mean, you can hear it on the EP, but, and then seeing like YouTube videos, I mean, just the intensity of the way you guys play live. And I love the fact that, I mean, it sounds like the album. I mean, there's other elements in there, but I mean, yeah, I mean, it's, that was always a frustration, sometimes when you'd see a band like this doesn't sound anything like the album. You guys, like, it's such a huge sound, and to see that on stage is so incredible I'm sure that, so I don't know, do you have any plans of coming to the United States anytime soon? Is that in the cards?
We were
We would love
in
to.
North America 2023
Okay.
with
Yeah.
we did a North American tour as special guest to Moonspell, and that
Hmm.
was a great experience, great experience. But at this very point in time, it is near impossible to get into North America. So, I
Yeah.
mean, there's not a straight answer to that question. We do want to, but we're not able to at this very moment.
Yeah, understand.
Now,
That's,
for an example, we had Mad with Power. It's a festival
oh yeah.
in Wisconsin, I believe. If I
Okay.
don't recall very wrong. We had that for this year. We had so many plans just based on that festival. We had so many plans around it. And it was the visa thing happening, right? And it even says that even if your visas will be approved in both North America and on the Swedish side, which is the US Embassy, there's no guarantee. That
Yeah,
is really what they state, and it costs a fortune. And
it's ridiculous.
first, they got like confirmed on the North American side, like, all right, yes, it's good to go. All right, great. Then we have to dive over to the US Embassy in Sweden. And that did not work out. I have no clue what they were doing, and I don't know what they are doing right now, but holy shit, it was absolutely terrible. So the actual visas did not get fully confirmed. So we, of course, we had to have the heavy talk with the festival general. And obviously it sucked, but we were not the only band that had a problem. He had actually
Oh yeah.
several bands in the lineup. I feel so sorry for them. But they were powering through, finding replacements and everything. And of course, they are interested for next year. But where we are now, like, how do we know that, no one wants to take the chance anymore?
Yeah.
That is the problem. Like now it's just this in between state, or like what is going on?
Yeah,
Mm.
it's really frustrating. It's, as a fan too, it's
Of
frustrating because you're seeing so many bands
course.
canceling tours because it's like we can't afford the visa, or we got denied, or it hasn't gone through
Yeah,
yet, and the tour is supposed to start tomorrow, and we still don't know. And I
exactly.
mean, I know like Burning Witches just canceled their American tour, or they postponed it because their visas
All
didn't
right.
go
Yeah.
through. So it's like, yeah,
Right,
it's really
right.
frustrating.
Mm.
So yeah, not to get into
And-
politics, but
No,
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 no.
but still, it's
But that's a
bullshit,
just to keep
situation
it to
that
the
bullshit.
is
museum.
regardless
Yeah.
of politics. And Victor, tell me, is it possible for people, residents of America, to fly out of America to Europe and then back? That's easy, right?
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Well, good. Because, even though I feel there's, uh, this is a bad thing, right? This is a bad situation for any band outside of North America that wants to come inside of North America to play everywhere for the fans. But it's still, I'm happy that North American bands can fly to other countries to spread music and spread joy. So
yeah,
not downplaying the negative part, but I also want to say, hey, at least the North American bands can come outside of North America to play.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I don't know
I
what the
mean,
situation is with visas for them, but, going to Europe. I think it's probably easier. I know as
I
just
don't
a
think there's no
tourist.
visa.
Yeah,
no, you don't really need any. I think you
oh,
can be
okay.
here up to 90 days
Okay,
and
so just a
tour
passport.
however you like. And then, yeah, exactly. Then you can go
Okay.
back. So that's why we have been looking into, like, you always try to think around, right? It
Hmm.
would be nice at least to maybe, I think, go to Canada because that is way easier.
Oh
And
yeah.
that is something that we lifted with, some of our patrons because it's good to, we can discuss some things because they are from all over the world. We have a bunch from the US. So we kind of asked, like, well, if we could arrange something in Canada at least, would you be interested in flying there? So they were like, yeah, obviously. And
Sure.
of
Hmm.
course, we know that not everyone is able to. It's time, money, obviously. But it was just nice to see that, we would love to make an effort. And it's beautiful to see that some fans are truly up to making that kind of an effort to actually, I mean, now on the European tour, we had a bunch of people from the US coming over to the European tour with
Well,
the with
amazing.
the mindset saying like, yeah, you guys cannot come to us. I'll just go here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is just really summarizing. That's what I wanted to get to, the incredible dedication that the US fans has. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
as I said, not everyone can, but that is how dedicated US fans are, whether they're able or not, because we've had fans on our Patreon for years, even before we even got to North America for the first time touring.
Right. Oh,
It's amazing.
I remember, so there are others, of course, but I'm going to mention this one guy. So in Sweden, the last show on the part two headline tour we had for We Shall Remain this year, a guy walks up to us. We were grading them for the meet and greet. That's why. So he walks up to us. He was wearing a leather jacket, and he had this kind of American style going on with him. And it was Raymond, and he's a fan of ours, and we know who it is through Patreon, through Twitch, and through all of that. We know his name. And he's like, "Huh, I'm Raymond." And we're like, "What the hell? Raymond,
Yeah.
you're here?" And he's like, "Yeah." And as Madeline mentioned, that's what the thing. He said, "Well, you're not able to come over, so I'm going to come over." And that was just beautiful. That was beautiful. It meant so much to him. Even a fan going from one town to the other, if you're leaving your secure home to go out and see a show, I mean, that's beautiful. That is dedication, and everyone is just amazing coming out to shows,
Yeah.
because coming out to shows is so important for the bands.
Yeah.
It is very, very important.
I mean, because that's really
So
where
of
you're
course,
making your money, right?
yeah, obviously it's an
And you
important
do.
part. Yeah.
It's an important part. It's a big, it's a cog of the whole thing as well. It's not only selling the merchandise, it's also like statistics, show statistics, for how many people are coming to your show. So it's also building for the future in a sense. You
Right.
can have like 5 million streams a month, but if only 20 people
Yeah.
are coming to your shows, who's going to book you?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a good point. That's a
Exactly.
really good point. Yeah.
So really, to just circle back, we just regarding the US, we are just kindly asking our fans over there to have some more patience because it is difficult. It is this state of no one really knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And I guess whenever it maybe gets more stable, also North American agent that we have maybe feels like he's ready to actually risk, because that is what you do, obviously. If you're putting all this work into booking something for a big maybe, it's a little bit difficult.
Mm.
So we will hope that it will feel a little bit more stable soon, because we are looking forward to go back, obviously. We were there for
Yeah.
the first time in 2023, and now we're like, okay, what will the next time be? Right?
Mm.
Yeah. I would love to see you live. And if I need to travel, I think I might have to do that. So yeah.
Yeah. It would be awesome to meet, obviously, after
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
having this, conversation.
Yeah. I'll go to
Well, you
Canada.
can catch us
Yeah.
live every week on Twitch, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, of course. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's the cool thing. I was going to mention that too. I love the fact that, we talked about, that you guys are doing production, but I mean, the marketing aspect of Elaine is really falls in your laps too. And I think you do a great job of marketing the band, with Twitch and with Patreon and just kind of, this it's interesting to see, and it's funny, and I'm not trying to bash anybody in any way, but
Hmm.
it's funny to see some of the older bands that aren't big anymore necessarily, that don't have much of a web presence because they're all old guys that don't get how to do it, and they can't afford the PR people necessarily maybe anymore. And like Iron Maiden, those types of bands, they've got a really good presence on the web
Yeah.
and social media. But there's smaller bands that, and you can tell, like, their website, it's like you look at it and it's like, this looks like it was something designed in like 1996, and
Yeah.
and they don't even they can't even pronounce Twitch, and they have no
Um,
concept of it. And I think what you guys are doing is, I mean, you're so good at promoting the band in a very organic and very honest way, which I think is cool too.
I
You know,
appreciate that.
it doesn't feel like, there's sometimes you feel like you're being sold something, where you guys, it's just like, here's who we are. Like, this is honestly who we are. And I think that's really cool.
Thank
It's
you.
like, you're very genuine in your approach to marketing the band, which I think is important. And that's one
Thank
thing
you.
I have a lot of respect for you guys. Um, I was gonna ask, well, first, just a quick side ask. Rickard,
Of course.
what are you drinking out of? That looks very cool.
Oh, it's a tankard. It's a Mortal Kombat
Oh,
tankard.
right on. Nice. I've got
Yeah.
I've got an Iron Maiden one that looks like that, as well as a Slayer one that looks like that.
Oh,
But
your
Yeah.
Iron Maiden one says Mortal Kombat? That's
no.
weird.
Ah, jeez. You had the Metallica one too, I believe.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Oh,
I got
nice.
Metallica and a Baphomet one. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah, nice. Awesome. Oh, yeah, I just saw that. I'm like, ooh, what was I didn't
Yeah.
catch I couldn't
Dude,
see what it was.
I'm a huge nerd. I love video games, movies, anime, cartoons, and everything there in between. I'm a
Nice.
huge nerd.
I love it. Me too. I think that's great. That is great.
Yeah.
Has
Yeah. I
that
see the Rush. Oh man, I see Rush there in the background.
Oh yeah.
Fly by. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah. I'm a big old nerd. Yeah, this whole room is just posters, and like the whole all the walls, and yeah, it looks like a teenager's room from like
I
1986.
love it.
So
So cool.
and over here I have, yeah, toys, like action figures, Star
Yeah.
Wars action, from when I was a child, and He-Man, and
That's so
all
cool.
sorts of silly stuff. So
Very nice, dude.
superheroes, yeah, that kind of stuff. So yeah. Um, if you don't mind, I'd like to take a ride in the Wayback Machine. This is a question for both of you, whoever wants to go first. I was curious how you started in music in the first place. Like, did you come from musical families? Like, what was the impetus? How did this start for you?
Cool. That's a great question. Really, really great question. I would imagine the answer will be very different depending on who you ask. And for
Right.
me, not really a musical family at all.
Okay.
So I just, like blah, blah, blah. I like to entertain and do the things. And I've been saying recent times that I'm the smart kind of dumb. I don't like I I take on a lot of work and a new thing like, hey, I'll maybe I can do that, and even if I don't know, and it kind of turns out great sometimes, and then yeah, it's good. And I've always, loved music, and I love to learn, I love to perform, I love to create. Bada bang, bada boom.
Nice.
You were like a teenager, right? Was it around your teens you started with guitar, I believe?
Well, I started like taking minor piano lessons when I was even younger,
Mm.
but
Mm.
nothing advanced at all. And I tinkered around with the guitar in my like early teens, yeah. But yeah, I got an electric guitar, a Squire, a Fender Squire,
Oh, right on.
when I was like 15, and yeah, from there on out, just all the other instruments, drum, bass, piano, guitar, a little bit of accordion there in between, but then I sold that. Yeah,
Very
And
cool.
singing.
and singing. Yeah, I've
It's also
always, yeah,
Nice.
singing and
don't
doing
forget
the
that one
things.
you did so well.
Excuse
Was
me.
there, oh, sorry,
I
What'd you
said
say,
you
man?
did so very well, so don't forget about the vocals.
Oh,
yeah, oh
you're
yeah.
too kind. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank
great
you.
vocals.
I
Yeah,
learn every
Rickard, I
day.
was I was curious, was there do you remember a specific moment where you're like, I'm gonna do that? Like was there something that like tripped that wire for you where like that's what I want to do. That's what I want to be.
Not a specific moment, no, but I've always felt that I want to entertain
Okay.
and make people happy and laugh, I would say.
Nice. Nice.
I'm very curious as to what Madeline has to say about her.
I'm curious as well.
Yeah, as if you've never heard it. No,
Never
I,
tell me.
no, I come from childhood where my father has been a musician all my life, basically. So of
Oh,
course
cool.
he has been, the role model, the one like, wow, imagine one day, having a rehearsal room and whatnot. So yeah, dad was touring quite a lot when I was a child. So, I had that perspective too, having
Mm,
a daily life where one parent was often gone, of course. We had life with mom at home and then dad joined. So of course I've been knowing quite a lot about that already. But yeah, so I know apparently I told mom when I was 2 that I wanted to become a singer one day. She was like, all right, you do that. Seemed to be very determined. So I remember I was 8 when I started with vocal lessons, and I
okay.
had the same vocal coach ever since, actually.
Nice. Wow. Since you were
So
8.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And then I actually, when everyone else was taking, summer jobs between school, I was like, no, I don't like that. So I actually started to take customers, wedding couples, and sang at weddings all summer, ever since I was 15.
Wow.
Also doing marketing, you got to be smart, you got to put your name out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was quite fun. So whenever I turned 18, I could actually start a company finally, so I could do it more legit. But yeah, so that was the road that I took at least, and that's where I'm so happy that Rick and I actually met at some point. So because I knew from I was 13-ish that I want to do metal. It's actually when
That's cool.
I saw a clip of Arch Enemy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I saw Angela. I realized that maybe, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I realized that maybe I will not be able to do the harsh vocals. Like it never really came natural for me. Still curious what I can do, but seeing the powerhouse that she is on
Mm,
stage made me feel like, well, I want to do that too. I
cool.
really loved how she really didn't care how she looked. She looked fucking cool, right? But I
Yeah.
mean, you notice that she was there to like this, and that really made me feel like, okay, yeah, I want to do metal. So that's why I'm so happy that whenever Rick and I met, that we actually had the same goal, like we want to have a metal band. Because I really hadn't found my way. I was like, how am I supposed to do this? I know that I want to do it with someone at least,
Cool.
because I can't play guitar. So
Nice.
we noticed quite fast that that was the way.
Did you
And I
did
forget what I do. And you keep track of so many things. It's great.
did you when you guys got together when you first connected, did you have a similar goal in terms like musically? Did you like mesh in
Yeah.
terms of like how you wanted to sound? Like, did you?
I I believe we actually were pretty on the same page because whenever we've been working, it's always been like no one's ego being put first. It's always been like, okay, this is our vision. And then of course in the beginning you're trying a little bit like, is this what we want? Yeah, we both like this sounds good. Whatever was really coming out. And of course, obviously when he started riffing, I was like, yes, here we go, obviously. Because that is what speaks to me. I can
Mm.
listen to the same riff for 4 minutes
Oh
and
yeah,
I'm still happy. Yeah, definitely. If it's a good riff, it can just go on.
yeah.
Um, so I think that, it's been a journey to find really, I mean, we have the cinematic influences, the real chugga riffing, but we really found our way. And that's really, as I've been speaking about before too, that with Dancing in Hell, it really felt like, yes, here's the recipe. This is us, basically.
Yeah.
So I would say that we had the same vision. We kind of built it together, to be honest,
And,
with the different influences that we have.
oh
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say I
mean,
really love your first EPs and your first two albums, but yeah, I agree with you. I think, Dancing in Hell, that's where I think you guys really defined the Elaine sound, and continue to do so, which is cool.
Yeah.
Um,
thank you very much.
I'm
We
happy you
actually,
share that.
yeah, spot on.
yeah, I think you really nailed it there. And I really, in fact, I just barely picked it up. I got the new black and white version on vinyl.
Mm.
Because I'm like, I have to own that. That's cool as hell. Like I love
Yeah,
and
once
I
it's
love the
gone, it's
original
gone,
cover,
man.
but the black and white cover, because it's a little, I like the fact that, especially with the name of the album, and it's darker and it just feels a little more metal, the black and white. I
Brilliant.
thought that was cool.
Thank you so
And
much.
also
I'm getting so
extra,
happy. I'm
yeah,
so sorry, Rikard.
No.
oh no, no problem. Extra little Easter egg there. The music video for Dancing in Hell, the title track is also black and white. So if you have the black and white vinyl, the album black and white, it's just kind of like a
Yeah.
power twins.
Um, I'm actually
Man,
happy we managed that, Rikard, though, because I remember when we started working on it, we had the artwork. I am a huge fan of black and white. Like for me, an album artwork that's like that black and white, it speaks more to me. What I know that the general public, they like it in color, and I don't hate it. It looks cool, but it was something with the black and white. So I remember the call we made to the label. We were like, all right,
yeah.
so we have an idea. We want to release it in both. They were like,
Oh,
double
interesting.
costs, you mean? You were, yes, but we can make one of them limited. So whenever it's gone, it's gone. They're like, all right, yeah, let's do that. So we will release everything, the cassette, CD, the collector's edition box, finals, we did everything in double. But I'm so happy we did,
Yeah.
truly. Because what you are saying now about the black and white vinyl makes me obviously happy because that's what I felt and what I feel. So yeah, that was good, but it was
Well,
worth
I
it.
think and I'm very visual. Um, so I like the fact that, yeah, that black and white really fits the music, I think. Like, because I'm the
Mm.
type that, I'll sit down, while the record's spinning and look at I've got it in my hands, listening and
Oh,
looking at the lyrics and looking at, yeah, because
yeah.
that's why I love vinyl so much. I love I love to, oh, this is
The
cool.
format, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, and the black and white, I think it really fits the music really well, like the darkness and the
Good.
aggression from
Thank
that
you.
album. I think it's a perfect fit. Yeah, so
And I'm
uh,
happy.
in terms of and I'm sorry, I'm circling way back. And I meant to ask this earlier and I forgot. In terms of the new album, do you have, and I don't know if you're at liberty to say yet, do you have a working title? Do you have artwork in place yet? Do you have kind of an idea of what it's going to be?
Well, we don't have a title for it yet. We don't have an artwork for it yet, but we got stuff brewing, and
Cool.
I do believe it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really cool.
Oh, I know it
Really
will
cool.
be.
But it will really be I'm very excited about it too. But we were listening to some of the demos yesterday. Like, I mean, I really feel this that it is so us as Elaine,
Hmm.
but it just feels even more. I know,
Mm.
more raw. It's just more, I
Cool.
guess. And that's the only thing that I think that we can give right now. So I'm very eager for whenever it's coming out, actually. I'm super curious how the fans will embrace it compared to, Dance Can How We Shall Remain. Even if I don't like to compare, it is inevitable that of course fans will go like, okay, this was that
Mm.
record. What do we got here?
Hmm.
But I'm just very eager,
Nice.
definitely.
Very cool. So have you started recording already?
No.
No.
No,
Okay. So you're in the writing process basically at this point, or nice. Very cool. Very cool.
ish.
Um,
You can say that.
Speaking of writing, I was curious, does it kind of what is your process for writing? Does it start with a riff? I mean, it's obviously, a lot of your music is very riff driven. So does a song start with a riff? Does it start with a lyric? Does it start with a melody, or is it maybe all three? Um,
I would
It
say like
varies.
Varies.
97% of the time it starts with a riff, but yes, those
Yeah.
last 3% makes it varied as well.
Hmm.
The vast majority starts with riffs and stuff like that, and otherwise it can be a little melody or like an idea more than a piece of text.
Okay.
Yeah, usually we save the lyrics to last. Actually, this is just how we work, each to their own. But we like to create music that kind of speaks for itself. I don't know how this will sound, but we really want it to speak for itself first because whenever we're working on it, we feel things because the parts that you hear in songs, the dynamics, everything is there because of what we want to say with the song, even without words. And this is a process for us to really feel the song and what
Hmm.
we want to deliver with it. And then whenever we come to the lyric part, it just flows differently. Then we already know what's it about. We're not just sitting down like, okay, we have this song. What do we want to say? We already feel the song pretty clear, actually.
Okay.
So
Cool.
that is usually how we do it. And just to give an example of whenever it's not starting with a riff is Suffering from We Shall Remain. I remember it started with the chorus melody. I made that. And I remember I presented it to Rikard, and when he dropped that riff, I was like, Jesus Christ, yes, hello, of course. It was so beautiful. So that's what I like. That even if this, what did you say, 97% is riff based,
Mm.
it is nice whenever it varies because I believe that gives a variation as well that is
Mm.
actually needed for the dynamics on an album.
Yeah.
Nice.
Speaking of variation, we're doing interviews throughout the entire day, and we only got 3 more minutes until the
Oh,
next interview is
sorry.
starting.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my
I,
God, has an hour
well,
passed
well,
But
already?
yeah, yeah.
that was a
Oh,
pretty sweet freaking segue. So
Yeah, yeah. We will wrap this up.
Victor, this was too
Um,
nice, man. What
yeah,
the
yeah.
hell?
Well, Madeleine, Rickard, this has been amazing. Like absolute pleasure chatting with you, truly. Thank you so much.
Likewise.
you
Um,
But I
too.
must ask, is there anything that you have as a question left, though, that you feel like, oh, we didn't talk about this?
I guess
Mm.
one thing I've always been curious
Yeah.
about with, especially because you have really interesting lyrics. Speaking about the writing, you have really, really
Mm.
emotive and interesting lyrics. I've always been curious, like with musicians, especially because some of your lyrics are straightforward and some of them are more abstract.
Mm.
Have you ever had like a fan come up and go like, "I love this song because it means this to me," and you're like, "That's not what that song means," and what are your thoughts on that?
Um, I mean, we're in the position that, or we have the position that you interpret the songs the way you want to interpret them for you.
Cool.
But
Mhm.
there's a difference if someone comes up to us and say, "This song is about that."
And you're like,
Instead of saying
Yeah.
like, "This song means this to me." There's a
yeah.
vast, it is similar, but vastly different. And then you can be like, "No."
Yeah,
But oftentimes it's like, if it means something to you and it brings you joy and fulfillment or inspires you in any way, awesome.
very
Yeah.
cool. Very good. I think that's a great ending for this interview. Thank you guys so much for chatting with me. For those of you watching, if you look into the description below, I have links to check out. If you're not familiar with Elaine, go listen to them right fucking now and buy this album and buy the EP that comes out on September 5th. Um, and yeah, fantastic band, amazing band. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your
Thank
time.
you, Victor.
And yeah, hopefully we will see you in the future soon.
Oh,
Yes, hopefully.
hopefully, Victor, hopefully.
Yes, thank
And
you.
thank you very much for that nice end. Hey, awesome, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.